To the men of the media, and welcome to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Daily Press Briefing for Wednesday, 8 February 2011. I am Sergeant Wayne Meister, Public Information Officer of the TTPS, and I'll now proceed to give you some information. Around 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 7th February 2012, two students of the Barataria Secondary School were walking along 5th Street, Barataria, when they were approached by four young men and a young woman who demanded their valuables. Whilst on their way to the Barataria station to lodge a report, accompanied by a parent, the offenders were seen walking along the priority bus route San Juan. They approached the group when the young men ran off, leaving the young woman standing. The young woman, who is 18 years old, of Wharton Street, Alavantil, was taken to the Barataria station where she is assisting the police on inquiries. An arrest was made by members of the Organized Crime, Narcotics and Firearms Bureau. Around 7 p.m. on Monday, 6th February 2012, officers of the Organized Crime, Narcotics and Firearms Bureau were on inquiries in the Northeastern Division proceeding along the North Coast Road, Maracas, when they had cause to stop and search a white Almera motorcar which was driven by a 32-year-old man of Cypress Drive, Lupino, and accompanied by a 22-year-old female of no fixed place of abode. A black plastic bag containing marijuana was found in the trunk of the vehicle. The marijuana weighed 8.54 kilograms with an estimated street value of $85,000. The couple were arrested and formally charged for the offense of possession of marijuana for the purpose of trafficking. And this is a notification to members of the public as it relates to the new police identification cards of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. In keeping with the 21st Century Policing Initiative, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has embarked on a drive to improve the identification card being used by police officers. As a result, police officers will be changing from the old ID to the new one with effect from January 2012. A sample will be provided. The new card is already in the system, and the old card will be valid until the 31st of July 2012. So from August 1st, only the new identification card will be used. And as I said before, samples will be given out to the media. That is the end of today's brief. I'll open the floor for any questions that you may have.
So this new ID card initiative, what's the cost of this attached?
That information will not be disclosed.
Ever? A ballpark figure at least. Let us know how much we are paying now to see the new IDs of the police officers.
No information.
And how will this benefit the police service in terms of IDing themselves properly to members of the public?
Rephrase the question.
How will these new ID cards benefit members of the public? Because it's part of the new 21st century policing, and the 21st century policing is geared towards being more visible to members of the public. So how will this new identification card prove to be in keeping with that trend?
Well, it will have the same function. The purpose of a ID card is for police officers to identify themselves, indicating that they are bona fide members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. But remember, as we go along, as we move along, as we evolve with technology, we are going to do things bigger, we're going to do things better, we're going to enhance, and that identification card is just an enhancement of the one that we had before, with certain features that will go along with the whole image of the 21st century policing.
Now you say it will be effective as of August 1st, 2012. In all things in Trinidad and Tobago, there is always some sort of lapse. Say on August 5th, and the old identification card is still being used. What is the citizen's right into refusing whether entry or whatever of people posing with the old police ID card?
Well, the situation will be like this. For until the 31st of July, that is the mandate that the police photography section will have to ensure that all police officers be outfitted with their ID cards. And from what I've been told, they are on schedule, they're on course to meet that deadline. However, based on circumstances, if for some reason the deadline is not met, we'll have an extension, because we definitely don't want a situation, as you mentioned, where a police officer will show his old ID card and a member of the public saying, well, I don't recognize that ID card, I only recognize the new one. So we don't want that to happen. So if we realize that the time is getting close and there's still need for more persons to be outfitted with the ID cards, then we're going to extend the period. Of course, the public will be informed. And until that is done, so you won't have that problem of somebody seeing the old ID card and saying, well, what should I do if I see the old ID card?
Now, with the new ID cards, last year there was made mention of new uniforms being provided for the police service. What's the latest with this one?
Well, no information forthcoming pertaining to that as yet. They're still working out some logistics, but in the meantime, we are moving on with some of the initiatives.
Morning. Now, we've already seen, for example, the Wassa Feds, where they've used a security truck to hold troublemakers as a way of deterring incidents during the events. What other initiatives are the police going to use during the carnival season?
Well, in addition to liaising with the promoters, one of the key proactive measures that could be put in place is in relation to security structures, barriers, very important, with the ability and with the strength to withstand a certain amount of pressure. So those are some of the proactive measures. We'll be liaising with the Fed promoters to look at some of the security measures that will be at those venues. In addition to that, we'll have our public order team present at those venues with the necessary manpower to assist in incidents that may be forthcoming.
Now, we've already heard about the strength of the police force that's going to be out during Carnival Monday and Tuesday in the hotspot areas, which are the Port of Spain and San Fernando areas. But what about when people leave their homes and they come to town? What are the police going to be doing to make sure that the outside of Port of Spain and San Fernando, that the rest of the country is secure?
Well, most definitely, you will never have the situation where we're gonna just put all the officers in one area and then leave an area vulnerable. We will have officers manning the various divisions. So, for example, let's say an area that is not too prone for mass or carnival activities, let's say in the Central Division or probably somewhere Southwestern Division, those areas will have the adequate strength of officers to continue general patrols in the area. What you normally find around carnival time, police officers they normally are called off leave. So persons who are on leave, they will be called out to augment the strength. So hence the reason where we'll get the additional strength from.
Now, one last question. With regard to Carnival Monday and Tuesday itself, now we know that when people come through city gates, they are searched, and if they are found with even a penknife, they can be charged. Is this going to be the same this year? And what advice do you have for people coming into Port of Spain?
Well, as usual, we'll advise persons to be responsible. The police will be out and will be at every port of entry and exits, and we're going to be making random searches, check-in, because the safety and security of the public, that is our main priority. And we want to ensure that persons who come into Port of Spain, the south areas, to enjoy themselves, that they enjoy themselves in peace. So we are advising persons to desist, who will have intentions of coming to Port of Spain with weapons, to desist from doing that, because we're going to be there, we're going to be waiting, we're going to be searching, and once you're found with any illegal weapons, you will be charged.
Last year, well, over the past few years, and it has gotten worse last year, in the Arapita Avenue, there seemed to be an escalation of violence in that area. Would there be any augmenting of strength in that area?
The Arapita Avenue, well, of course, we'll have our officers out there in full force because that is one of the routes where the bands will normally pass, and it's also, as you know, it's a spot where a lot of people will line in the streets. So those are the main areas, together with the accompanying areas or surrounding areas, Port of Spain and environs, that will be heavily manned by police officers to ensure that order is kept.
And well, not recent times, but in times gone by, and it has increased. Every year we have a number of camps all over Trinidad and Tobago. People go to the beaches and that kind of thing, and we have seen increased cases of people being robbed at these locations. Are there plans to monitor your camps, your various Bible camps and whatever other camps, and persons who would spend that weekend or those days by the beach?
Most definitely, the police officers attached to the various divisions will be paying special attention to activities within the area. Of course, we are asking persons to be responsible and to carry out certain personal safety measures. You know, for example, you have persons who will find themselves in areas, let's say for example camping. Some people like to go hiking. They'll probably go hiking by themselves and not notifying the authorities, not being accompanied by a group of persons. So there are certain things that the public can do to enhance their personal safety, but rest assured the officers attached to the various divisions will be paying special attention to the activities taking place in and around their divisions.
One last question. From Sunday, several policing units have denied that their members were part of the alleged assault at Panorama semifinals. Could you indicate to us which policing unit, GEB, K9, Mountain Branch, SWAT, whoever, that was on duty on Sunday and was part and parcel of the entire incident?
For now, all I can tell you is that members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service were present on the scene. An investigation has been launched into the matter, and based on that investigation, I wouldn't want to comment much on the incident, but the investigations
has been launched, because yesterday say will be launched, and now we're saying
investigation,
has been.
Yes.
Who is the leader or the head of the investigation?
Well, the investigations, we have our preliminary investigators, and later on we'll probably have a person spearheading investigations.
Just one more quick question. Yesterday evening there was a shooting on the highway, a PH driver. He died sometime last night. PH continues to be an illegal act. I don't know if it has changed. What's the situation in the police service on PH drivers? Because I am seeing everywhere an escalation of PH drivers, and they seem to operate like, well, it's just a normal day, you know, and we continue ever so often we hear of PH drivers shot and robbed and that kind of thing. In terms of the police service, what's the situation on PH drivers?
Well, the whole issue of PH driving, it's legal. However, we are, as law enforcement officers, we will have to operate within the purview of the law. I know in times gone by, and efforts were being made by the legislators to, you know, regularize the whole issue on PH drivers, but it still remains an offense, and we still monitor the situation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for another.
We've heard that the bicycle police have been in training.
Right.
Are they going to be deployed during Carnival? And if so, where are they going to be used the most?
Talking about bicycle, not bicycle. Okay. We have some bicycle officers already deployed, but that's in the area of the Chagarama's development area. We have bicycle officers in Tobago Division. It is not all information as yet if these officers will be deployed in the built-up areas, like for example Port of Spain or San Fernando for the Carnival season. That is yet to be forthcoming. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for another press brief. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. And remember, continue to partner with us in the reduction of crime and the enhancement of security and safety.